Welcome back to the Hannahcast YouTube channel, and definitely welcome back because this is my second video today, but oh my god, the Academy has just announced that for their 100th ceremony, they will be adding Best Stunt Design as a category. This is like a long time coming because everyone's been clamoring for a stunt category, and next year we're already getting a new category for casting, which is another category I feel like has been long overdue. But let's read the Academy's, press release for this, because, my god, the Board of Governors of the Academy of Motion Picture Arts and Sciences announced today the creation of an annual competitive Academy Award for Achievement in Stunt Design, beginning with the 100th Academy Awards for films released in 2027. Since the early days of cinema, stunt design has been an integral part of filmmaking, said Academy CEO Bill Kramer and Academy President Janet Yang. We are proud to honor the innovative work of these technical and creative artists, and we congratulate them for their achievement and dedication in reaching this momentous occasion. Category rules for eligibility and voting for the inaugural award will be announced in 2027 with the complete 100th Academy Awards rules. The specifics of the awards presentation will be determined by the Academy's Board of Governors and executive leadership at a future date. More than 100 stunt professionals are members of the Academy's Production and Technology branch. The last new award category created was Achievement in Casting, established in 2024 and beginning with the 98th Academy Awards for films released in 2025. Oh my god, I actually did not think we would get it this soon. And what a perfect time. I mean, the 100th Academy Awards, now we're kind of bringing everything back together because, again, it's been a long time coming. Stunt design, and also the fact that they're calling it stunt design is really cool because, I was actually thinking, hey, if I were doing a stunt branch, or a stunt, category, I would call it Best Stunt Design because you got production designers, you got costume designers. This kind of makes sense, and, I almost was kind of thinking maybe they would call it Best Stunt Design since The Fall Guy introduced a new credit for the stunt coordinator called the Stunt Designer. Now, for some people who are a little bit confused, wait, wouldn't this just encourage more people to do more dangerous things for Oscars in terms of stunts? I really would push back against that because that's assuming that stunt designers and stunt performers don't really know what they're doing. Because the thing is, they're already doing insanely dangerous stuff without an Oscar. I feel like this is good for a number of reasons. One, I feel like this is an overdue craft to, bestow an Oscar to. And two, I feel like this would help solve some of the Academy's issues with nominating popular films. Let's face it, a lot of films nominated for Oscars are not really the general audience's cup of tea, and the Oscars have tried to address this in some very bad ways, like suggesting a Best Popular Film category, or that stupid Twitter poll that they did a couple years ago. Luckily, they never went forward with the popular film category, but still it was very concerning. And so I feel like this is a good way to honor those because the films that are going to be nominated are mostly going to be big blockbusters. I mean, I'm pretty sure there will be some prestige films nominated. I don't know, maybe a couple of years ago, maybe Napoleon could have gotten into Best Stunt Design. But this is going to be interesting because are they going to add a stunt branch or are they going to use the production and technology branch? We're not so sure about that. I do hope they make a stunt branch because they've already got enough members, and trust me, even the costume designers branch has few members, so 100's not really that much to worry about. But still, they could still add more, and I'm hoping they add more, so that they can create a stunt branch, so that, a specific branch. Because, if someone's going to nominate for stunts, I'd rather people who actually know this craft are nominating these films. Yeah, sure, we could maybe see stuff like Fast and Furious nominated, but then that's actually something I'm kind of curious about because we don't really have a lot to go off of. I think there is actually the World Stunt Awards, So those could be an interesting precursor, but the nominees and winners for those come out like at the half of the next year. So it's like, I don't know how useful that's gonna be. But still, when looking at the history, there could be some big surprises. So I'm very fascinated by that. And for anyone who's thinking, well, how are you gonna know what is a stunt and what's not a stunt? Well, I think there's an easy solution to this, and that is have a shortlist system. Like, for example, let's take the visual effects, category. All right, at least currently, as of, this year, the Academy selects a short list of 10 films that were previously done by 20, but still, you whittle it down to 10 films, and you bring in a bunch of members of the visual effects branch into this big screening for showing the behind-the-scenes reels for the visual effects contenders, showing them how they did it, and showing a clip of the film to see sort of the final product. And you do the same thing with stunts. You show like a clip of the film or stuff like that, and you also show the behind the scenes of it all, showing, hey, this is why this stunt was very, very dangerous, or why this was like a pretty risky stunt to pull off. A good example of this was Wonder Woman, because initially I was like, wait, Wonder Woman, why was Wonder Woman like a big stunt film? But then I kind of realized, oh wait, yeah, considering she doesn't really have a lot of, protection, like her arms are bare, her legs are bare, it's like there's a lot of skin showing, so the stunt work is going to be a lot more dangerous. Honestly, this could help teach audiences a little bit more about stunts. Like, hey, I feel like the Oscars are at their best when they use the categories to teach people about the craft itself. Like, there was like a really cool thing a couple years ago where they brought out Michael B. Jordan and He Who Must Not Be Named, and they pretty much teach the audience about like this old film camera that was being used back in the day, and how it actually had to be lowered down into the floor. The floor is actually kind of risen up so that you can have these big like profile shots of the actors looking very tall. That's, I think, very fascinating. I think the audience really likes that. Use this as an opportunity to teach audiences about stunts and why they are so integral. I'm actually kind of interested to see what would win, because there's probably not going to be a lot of Best Picture films nominated for stunts. I mean, I'm trying to think of what previous years you could have done that with. Like, would Wicked have been nominated for stunts? Would Dunkirk have been nominated for stunts? That's something that's going to be very fascinating, and I'm wondering if this will also incentivize studios to make more prestige action films. All this stuff is really interesting to think about. And so, yeah, guys, now I'm going to pass the question off to you. What are your thoughts on Best Stunt Design being introduced into the 100th Oscars ceremony? Let me know in the comments below what you think, and be sure you hit that subscribe button, because if you don't, Keanu Reeves will kick you in the face.